We are at another bus station and waiting for a bus to the town of Demre, just down the coast from Cache. We've decided to not hike the section from Cache to Demre just because the weather is just so unstable. It's unpredictable, so we're going to take the bus there and check out a few interesting sites. More ruins, more ancient ruins, but interestingly, we're gonna go see Santa Claus.
Demre, elimde sağ içeri koyalım.
Tamam biraz koyabilirsiniz farklı yalnız ya.
All right, we're in the modern town of Demre. After taking a bus from Cache, we're here because we want to see a couple of things. The first thing is this was the ancient city in Lycia called Myra. It was built on the river of Miros, I think. This is like a 2,500 year old ancient city. We're gonna go check out the ruins here. It's supposed to be built into the rocks. It was created by the Lycians and then taken over by the Greeks, Hellenized as they call it, and then the Romans took over, and then the Ottomans took over. Now it's a big farming town. It's a very industrial farming town filled with greenhouses, and it's called Demre. So we're going to stay here for at least one night. Check out the ruins, and then there's also the burial grounds of Santa Claus. Maybe you little kids shouldn't watch this video, but St. Nicholas church is supposed to be here. I want to see that. And he was actually a 4th century church figure. What was he? Do you remember? Bishop. 4th century bishop, and this is his church. So the resting place, the birthplace, I don't know, the place of St. Nicholas, Santa Claus. So that's the ancient city of Myra that we want to get to. Got to walk through this blue-collar working town first. Kind of feels like an Eastern Bloc country. All the high-rises behind us are very set out in a blockish manner. We got some tomatoes from a local guy who just came out of the greenhouse. Nice. Do you have avian bird flu? I hope not. Hi, buddy. These are tombs that are built into the rock wall in the city founded by Lycians in the ancient city of Myra. They were discovered in 2009, I think, with the use of ground-penetrating radar, and they're dated back to 3rd century BC. It's like a couple thousand-year-old structures. It's another day, another ancient amphitheater.
This one seats 13,000.
Wow. It's got a bit more character than the Slush Puppy Center. Mel and I were just talking about the idea of something that's 2,000 years old and how it's still here. I mean, I think I'm equally impressed by the fact that someone had to excavate all of this stuff and put it together, but much of it remains standing, and I don't know, 2,000 years is just something that I can't imagine. So here's another example of the layers of human history here. That is our Lycian tombs. And this in front of me is a Greco-Roman structure, this amphitheater. And then up in the mountains and the other cliffs, right there, are more Lycian tombs cut into the rock. It's like 2,000 years old. Okay, so before you kiddies who have all of their Christmas presents delivered to them by Santa Claus, you should stop this video. But for the others who are a little bit older, continue. What do we know about where we're going, Mel, right now?
We're going to a church where Saint Nicholas, who was born in Patara, the region of Patara, close to here. He was a bishop at this church and is buried at this church. And the story goes that Saint Nicholas either took pity or really liked young children and gave gifts to them
In a good way,
or gave there was the young women of the region who couldn't afford dowries. He would put sacks of coins down their chimneys, and hence the beginning of the story of Saint Nicholas or Santa Claus.
And apparently he was a 4th century Christian bishop. Wow, bishop. But I've also read that for some reason he was also been described as a Lycian person.
Just because it's from the
Maybe, yeah, he's from this region of Lycia. So we're going to head over to the church, St. Nicholas Church, where the origins of Santa Claus is. But for all you kiddies, the real Santa Claus is from the North Pole. Okay, so that's St. Nicholas's church. He's actually the patron saint of children. I don't want to pay the money to go in. I can enjoy from out here. So, not the North Pole. And in fact, it's quite tropical and Mediterranean here. Okay, kiddies. This is what happens pre-Middle Age. Santa Claus was quite the stout-looking dude. Don't let yourself go. Okay, patron saint of children, St. Nicholas, to interesting. They're really running with the Santa Claus theme here in Demre.